There's this one financial rule we all hear growing up, right? It's kind of drilled into our heads from day one. Debt is bad. Simple as that. End of story. But what if that's only half true? What if that simple rule we all learned is actually, holding us back from seeing a really powerful opportunity? The truth is, debt is really a two-sided coin. For sure, some debt can make you poor. It just drags you down with all those interest payments. But there's another kind of debt, and this is the interesting part, that can actually make you wealthy. So that's what we're going to dive in today. We're going to break down that exact difference. All right, so let's get right to it. What's the simple difference here? What really is good debt versus bad debt? Honestly, it's way simpler than you might think. Bad debt, that's just any debt that takes money out of your pocket. And good debt, well, that's debt that puts money into your pocket. That's literally it. That's the core idea. One drains you, the other builds you up. And if we break it down a little more, you can really see the difference. Bad debt, that's usually for stuff that loses value, right? Like clothes, gadgets, maybe a new car. You're just paying interest on something that's worth less and less every day. But good debt, that's a whole different ballgame. It's tied to things that can actually make you money, boost your earning power, and even grow in value over time. Here's a super easy way to think about it. Imagine you borrow money to buy a candy machine. That machine spits out candy, people buy it, and suddenly you're making money every week. That's good debt. But what if you borrow money just to buy a bag of candy that you eat yourself? Well, that's bad debt. One builds a little business, the other just gets consumed. And that really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? It's all about the mindset behind the borrowing. It's not just about math. It's about your goal. Are you trying to build something, or are you just consuming? This whole idea of using debt as a tool, it's actually pretty new. For thousands of years, debt was just seen as this terrible thing, a burden. It wasn't really until, say, the last century that people, especially businesses, started to have this light bulb moment. They realized it wasn't just a trap. It could be leverage, a way to build things way faster than just saving up cash. So look, it all comes down to this one question you've got to ask yourself anytime you think about borrowing money. Does this debt help me build something or just consume something? Seriously, that one little question is a total game changer. All right, enough with the theory. Let's make this real. We're going to look at a tale of two borrowers to see exactly how this plays out. Okay, check this out. On one side, you've got person A. They're swiping the credit card for clothes, gadgets, dinners out, all stuff that loses value the second you buy it. So they're racking up high-interest debt, and their net worth is actually shrinking. Now look at person B. They also take on debt, but they do something totally different. They get a loan to buy a rental property. Now, the tenant's rent is paying off their loan for them, and the property itself is gaining value. See the difference? Just think about that for a second. It's the exact same action, borrowing money, but the results are polar opposites. For one person, it's wealth destruction. For the other, it's a wealth creation machine. Okay, so the big question is, how do you make sure you're person B, not person A? Well, let's put together a simple framework you can actually use. But first, a really important warning here. Just because you've heard the term good debt doesn't mean it's a free pass to go borrow a ton of money. This stuff only works if the asset actually performs, right? You have to manage the risk. Even a rental property becomes bad debt pretty quick if you can't find a tenant and you're stuck with the mortgage. So here it is, your 4-question checklist. Whenever you think about borrowing, just ask 1, will this thing produce income? 2, is it going to go up in value or down? 3, and this one is the magic. Can someone else, like a tenant or a customer, pay this debt off for me? And finally, number 4, what happens if things go wrong? Can I still afford it? You got to have a backup plan. And this is exactly why getting it right is so critical. You have to think of debt as an amplifier. It takes whatever outcome you're heading for and just cranks it up. The good gets way better, and the bad gets so much worse. And it happens fast. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? The truth about debt is, it's just a tool. That's all it is. It's not good, it's not evil. And, just like any tool, say a hammer, you can use it to build a house, or you can use it to cause a lot of damage. The most important part isn't the tool itself, it's the person holding it.